Hello everybody, this is the Goofsome Fox coming at you with a match here with the Guncannon Aqua TB, which stands for Thunderbolts, and we're going to be on Supply Depot here, quite the opposite terrain to expect a Guncannon Aqua here, but this suit here is a 350 cost support, and I got this from the Jetta Cannon half pull. I tried to do a half pull to get the Jetta Cannon. Did end up getting this suit instead, which kind of glad because this is one of the Thunderbolt suits I've really been wanting since its banner came out, but didn't get it at the time, so I'm glad to have it now. And I'm just going to say it outright, this is a very interesting support here, and I mean that as quite a good thing, because it doesn't feel like a support, but at the same time, it does. It's a very hard feeling to explain with the suit, and I think that's because a lot of the suit's kits is really more tuned to close to mid-range combat, because you don't have the beam sniper rifle or the regular cannons that most of the Guncannon variants have. So you have a harpoon gun which fires in rounds of burst, and it's also pretty easy to get stuns with this weapon as well. You have a beam saber as your melee weapon, and that beam saber can actually do quite a decent chunk of damage depending on how you hit a target. You have your head Vulcans, pretty standard for your Federation suits there. You have a alt-fire version of the harpoon gun that fires all the harpoons at once, and this does some pretty decent damage and is an instant stun. And then you have your back torpedoes, which fire kind of like, it looks like they fire in like a row of 3, I think is how this weapon works, and one shot takes 3 rounds, so you technically have 4 rounds with it, so quite the interesting setup there. You also have stealth with this suit. I believe it might be stealth level 2, but not only that, but you have anti-jamming and anti-stealth. So you have a suit, your stealth suit with the tools to counter other stealth suits, basically. It's kind of like the Isaac, but to a lesser extent, and I've really been enjoying playing the suits. I want to get it on an amphibious map one day, just to kind of see how it goes. And as you can see here, fine example, there's an Ifrit knocked right here, and as you can see, my sensors are not jammed, which is just very nice for me, because that means I can see everything that is going on. What else is there about this suit? Yeah, again, back to, I want to really play this in an amphibious map, if I can, because it's, an amphibious suit, so it's going to benefit way more from being there. Port Base High Tide might actually be a really nice map for this suit, because that map is a bit more closed in. Maybe even like Underground Base would be very nice for this, but yeah, very nice suit overall, and yeah, really just going to commentate the rest of the match here, because that's really most of what I had to say about it. It's a very nice, interesting support, and it's kind of fresh at the low cost to just play something like this, something that's a bit different from the traditional supports that I think low cost just kind of has. Low cost has a lot of, as I said, traditional supports, kind of like the long-range type of suits, so yeah, very nice to have this here. We have a pretty good lead, almost, or really, not almost, but actually above doubling the enemy team's score at the moment. Did get killed by the Ifrit knock there, but team looks like they are doing quite well for themselves at the moment, so not going to be too long until I spawn in. Looks like I'm going to try to spawn in at base here, which probably would be the best method here, because the enemy team is kind of closing in on our base side, so definitely want to try to defend this area best I can. There is the enemy's gun tank, and as you can see, you still quite have some range to work with here. It's not like you necessarily have to be that close to an enemy to necessarily do anything, so some distance there, not as much as probably the traditional Guncannon would have, but you still have some of that, not sniping capability, but just mid-range capability, and it's kind of what I'm trying to do now here is stay in the back, just try to get as much damage off as I can, try to hold the enemy back with the rest of my team. Looks like, actually nope, looks like my multi-harpoons may have hit the knock there, Enemy team is coming from the left side, so trying to focus here and seeing if I can get them off this side here. Looks like they are getting closer though, so trying to use any tool I can here. There's the Efreet Noct trying to go from around the base. And gonna go for a tackle just to avoid is it the cool darts? I think they call them cool darts. The Kainuais? Kainuais? I play TF2. I should absolutely know what this weapon is called because there is a notorious version of it for the spies. So should know what that weapon is, but not really getting the pronunciation right at the moment. There is an enemy going into our base. I don't know if somebody was able to take them out, but I'm just trying to pretty much get whatever I can. Going in for the torpedoes. Looks like someone may have gotten them, so gonna try to move with the rest of my team here and see what we can do. And looks like there is something there. Gonna finish them off with the harpoon gun. That may have been the gun tank. Really wasn't able to get a good view of it there. Something with beams from the right. Actually, two things with beams. And somebody did get destroyed though. Somebody was trying to come around the corner, but luckily somebody was able to get him. Possibly the Stutzer by the looks of it. There's the Efreet Noct up there, and I'm just trying to use as many weapons as I can to try and take him out. That's another thing I should mention about this suit. It doesn't feel like the highest damage dealer, but in the right scenario, if you're really just sticking with your team, you will be able to do some decent damage to the enemy team here. As you can see, 287 to the gun tank there. Not too shabby there, but let's see. Yeah, not the highest damage, but you can still kind of make it work here. And I think that's because you can go in for melee with this suit. Like I said earlier, you can do some decent melee damage, which I think is kind of what they wanted to like do with the suit, because even in the mobile suit's explanation it does say that the joints that this suit have do make it like kind of not more suited, but capable of melee combat. So it seems that's something that they may have had in mind when they made the suits. I only wish you could boost and go into melee. I think that would have maybe highlighted that idea a bit more. I can maybe see why they didn't, and no, it's not just the, oh, well, it's a support, so it doesn't get good things arguments. I think it might just be more of the, like, just how much damage it can kind of do with the melee, and this being lower cost, yeah, maybe that might be for the best, but, let's see, near the last few seconds, there is the Efreet Noct there. I don't know if we're able to get him in time. Actually, yeah, not going to be able to really do much. And that's going to be timeout right there. Good work's going around. Couldn't get back in my suit in time to do any last minute damage, but hey, mission completed. And let's see how we did here. Didn't get anywhere on the board. Our Marine Gundam did very well though. And it does look like I beat my rival. Second place overall with 7 kills and 2 loss. Not too shabby there. And yeah, that's going to do it for this match here in the Guncannon Aqua TB. Hey, 3 tokens from that gold crate there. And yeah, that's really just going to be the end of this video here. Again, very nice support. I do want to get this out more on some different maps. And yeah, that's again going to be it here. So comment down below what you think about the Guncannon Aqua TB. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. And with that, I will see you all in the next one. Later.